I... I'm sorry, Your Worship. Please forgive me for disobeying your orders.
Volkay,
I was the one who nominated Volkay for the job. I take full responsibility for this. What he did was unwise, but given the circumstances, I believe he had no choice but to defend himself. I said I would keep an eye on him from the shadows, but it is I who is to blame for this mess, not Volkay.
Ketone, I should like to speak with Volkay. I ask that you remain quiet for a moment.
As you wish.
Volkay, how does it feel to have taken a life for the first time?
I don't know. I was so lost in the moment, I wasn't able to think.
Is that so? I can imagine. After all, it was the same for me. After claiming my first life on the battlefield, I simply stood there, motionless. Then your sister told me something I will never forget. She said that if I thought taking a life to be a sin, then she would bear that weight with me. For that is the pillar of strength your sister was.
Sis said that?
I have never spoken to you of my reasons, but allow me to make them clear now. I did not want you, her younger brother, to bloody your hands. I allowed you to take up the spear to train your mind and body, but I never wanted this life for you. I wished for you to live peacefully, never knowing bloodshed, in a world I would create anew.
Lord Mont.
But I see now I was too naive. It was selfish of me to want to shield you from all of this. And I was not as steeled in my resolve as I had believed. I was prepared to bear the weight of my own sins, but not the sins I wished to spare you of. I do not live up to the example set by your sister, which is why I think it is time I change my ways.
What do you mean, Your Worship?
What do you think, Ketone? I ask you as his teacher, someone who has watched him closely.
With all due respect, Your Worship, I think this experience was to Volkay's benefit. He will not be a child forever. The world will inevitably force him to grow, just as it did with us. Regardless of how it happened, Volkay crossed that threshold. Nothing can change that now.
Understood. Listen well, Volkay.
Yes, Your Worship.
What you witnessed today is but a fragment of human folly. If you tread the same path as I do, you will see far worse, time and again. And there will be no way to cleanse the blood that stains your hands. Never forget that.
Yes, Your Worship.
Good. As long as you remember that, I shall bear the weight of all your sins from this moment forth.
Your Worship, does that mean
You will officially become one of my retainers. You will share the same rank as Ketone and Uldoa, and be treated as such.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Take the place of your sister, the blaze of the battlefield, and serve at my side. Just like her blade burned bright like fire, so too will your spear shimmer crimson. Shimmerlance Volkay, from today forth, you shall be my spear.
Shimmerlance, a most befitting epithet. Congratulations, Lord Volkay. Now then, by your leave, I should like to brighten this auspicious day even further.
Uldoa, I see you have returned from Horn.
What exactly do you mean by Brighton?
I come bearing information of none other than the whereabouts of a core crystal. I have confirmed its existence in an abandoned mine in a corner of Horn.
Your worship, I have a favor to ask. While I am grateful that you have given me a title in memory of my sister, I know I cannot take it as my own just yet. For now, I would like you to hold on to it, your worship. I will formally accept it once I prove myself worthy.
Very well. I imagine the favor you mentioned to be an opportunity to prove that very worth.
Yes. I believe the core crystal's magic will have drawn in no shortage of monsters. And its influence will have them more violent than ever. Just as they were in these lands.
I see. I had not reached that particular conclusion.
So, you meant to say you would carve my path?
If you would allow me, yes.
Then so be it. Now, let us make for Horn.
The core crystal is here? As Volkay predicted, this place is teeming with fiends.
I imagine they will be great in number. Will you truly be all right on your own, Lord Volkay?
Yeah. You two need only focus on protecting his worship.
As you wish. Allow us to bear witness to your first campaign, Shimmerlance Volkay.
Go, Volkay. Guide us to the core crystal.
Yes, your worship!
Fine work.
Your worship! Look over there!
Is that the core crystal?
Without a doubt.
So this is a core crystal. The source of the great power I seek.
Please wait, your worship. I ask that you refrain from touching it at the moment.
Why do you stop me?
If you were to take that core crystal now, you would indeed be able to obtain a portion of great power. However, that alone would not be enough to attain your worship's true desires. What you seek cannot be obtained with a single core crystal. Rather, you must reach the inner chamber where all the core crystals are to rest. It is there that you shall gain the undeniable power to reshape the world.
That may be so. But then, what do you suggest we do with this crystal now?
We went through all the trouble of finding it. Don't tell me we're just going to leave it here.
I believe that to be the wisest course of action. Do you remember what I said to you before, your worship? Work from the assumption there are others who know that an unforeseen circumstance has caused the core crystals to fall from their rightful place, and something becomes clear.
I see. Now that I look at it, there seems to be a different energy mixed within. One unlike its original power.
Indeed. Someone has tampered with the crystal. While I cannot discern exactly what they have done, for I have avoided unnecessary contact with it and made my observations from afar. There is a possibility that this is the doing of an interloper from the end of all things, or one of their allies.
So, heedlessly touching it may be dangerous.
Then what do you suggest we do? Standing by twiddling your thumbs is hardly a strategy befitting of your title.
I suggest leaving it here for the warriors at the crystals.
What? You can't be serious!
Allow me to explain. Once the warriors retrieve the crystals, they will inevitably return them to the inner chamber. So if we follow this crystal, it will lead us straight to said chamber.
And how do you suggest we do that?
By using Calydra's crystal. It has the same nature as the core crystals, and now that it has been in your worship's possession for so long, it has all but become a part of you. If you embed a fragment of it within the core crystal, then
It will form a connection between my crystal and the core crystal, which we can use to locate the inner chamber.
precisely. This will lay the foundation for the rest of your worship's plan. The core crystals will inevitably return to the chamber where they belong. When your worship stands before them and establishes a connection, the foundation we have laid will be the one true key to attaining their power.
But won't that be something the warriors of the crystals would notice?
They might under normal circumstances, but his worship is most fortunate, for these circumstances are far from normal. Suppose the mysterious power of the interlopers from the end of all things somehow contaminated the core crystals. It would be of the utmost priority for the warriors of the crystals to address this. One can imagine they would be far too preoccupied to notice if anything had changed. However, if the warriors fail and we risk losing the core crystals, then we will need another plan.
We can worry about that later. For now, let us put our faith in the warriors of the crystals. We shall proceed with your plan, Uldoa. Sooner or later, the core crystals will serve me.
Excellent. Now we need only wait. In the meantime, let us take to our preparations with a degree of leisure.
We will need a temporary base, preferably on an uninhabited world. Come.
Stand back, your worship! I shall handle this creature!
I thought I had defeated them all, but I shall right that wrong now!
Wait. It seems that it is not my life this creature hungers for.
It swallowed the core crystal!
What? Now it means to attack us?
Your worship! You mustn't!
Your worship silenced it with a single gaze. That is quite the feat.
A wise beast you are. I shall leave the core crystal in your care for now. Keep it safe from wandering eyes in that pit of a belly until the warriors of the crystals come for it.
After that, days and months went by, until at long last, the time had come.
Volke,
Your worship, I am here to escort you back.
very well. What of Oldoa and Ketone?
They have already gathered and await your worship's return.
Then I suppose I should not keep them waiting. Let us return. What is it, Volke? Is there something you wish to ask me?
It's nothing, your worship.
Whatever it is, ask it.
This land, it is a part of Ardra, isn't it?
Yes. What of it?
You usually prefer to keep your distance from this place. So why? Why now? And why alone? Is something bothering you?
I thought the only obstacle that stood between me and my objective was the warriors of the crystals. But there was one more thing I had to be certain of. A presence. One that a man I know well had tried to prevent the revival of countless times. Even if it meant rewriting history itself. I needed to see if he succeeded, or if his efforts were in vain.
History was rewritten? There's something so dangerous here as to require that?
Indeed. But there is nothing to fear. For now. Though it may become a threat in the future. I need only reduce all to ash before that happens.
Reduce all to ash? Then it's true. The reason you summoned us all back from those worlds.
Patience. We shall speak of it later, when all are present.
It's quite enough!
Someone is there. Wait, your worship!
Then I shall ask but one question. You dare stand in the way of Lady Mashari's carriage?
I do not answer to you.
I see. Then there's but one explanation. You lot are from Leonis, are you not?
In that case, may the Leonesians bear your enmity.
It seems we are uninvited guests.
Lady Mashari, do not get out of the carriage. Pray wait inside.
It seems Princess Mashari truly is inside the carriage, and her life is ripe for the taking.
You fool! I shan't let that happen.
Did he say Mashari?
Any closer and they will notice us, your worship.
Curse you!
Schützelt, I shall fight with you.
No! Please, have faith in the first sword of Solidus. I shan't allow such shameless bandits to lay even a single finger on you, my lady.
This is hardly the time to be saying such things. You needn't worry about me.
No! You mustn't!
Mashari.
No, your worship, stop, please!
Opportune timing.
Father.
Your Majesty, they wear the armor of Horn.
Lilith.
Your worship. What did you just say? Your worship!
Forgive me, Volkay. This was all my fault.
Your worship. Just a moment ago, you said her name, didn't you?
Do not look! You mustn't, Volkay.
Yes, your worship.
I see everyone is present.
Welcome back, Your Worship. Thank you for seeing him back safely, Lord Volkay.
Sure.
Did something happen?
No. Of course not.
I see. I'll take your word for it, then.
I have gathered you today for one reason alone. The time has finally come for us to begin. The fragment I placed within the core crystal has at long last completely attuned to me. And now I can wield its power as my own, even without entering the inner chamber.
Finally. How long we have waited for this day.
I have confirmed that the one whose mysterious power contaminated the lost core crystals, and the interlopers from the end of all things, who seemed to be pulling the strings, were defeated by the warriors. I can say with complete confidence that there is no better time for us to act.
Then it begins. It is time for the world to be reborn.
Where would you have us start, Your Worship?
I understand well the defeat and despair of the interloper. Although we were never able to join forces, I have the utmost respect for him, and shall follow in his footsteps. In order to see his ambition fulfilled, it was from his very own home that he annihilated.
Then... you mean to...
Yes. We shall begin with the abominable land of Ardra. Uldoa has already begun the preparations. Are we ready to begin, Uldoa?
But of course, I have long waited for those words to bless my lowly ears. Now then, before his worship sets out on this grand journey, I would like to hold a little ceremony with these.
masks? Whatever for, Uldoa?
They are for those of us who, in order to reshape the future, must first leave behind our pasts. His worship, Lady Ketone, and myself. Until then, these masks will stand as proof that we have cast off both our names and our histories.
Wait a moment. Why only the three of you? Why don't I get a mask?
Do not misunderstand, Lord Volkay. This mask represents a separation from our pasts. But there is nothing in the life you have lived that need be left behind. I want you to live with your eyes set only on the bright future his worship would create.
Not that again.
Even so, surely these masks are nothing more than a theatrical indulgence. You have an unhealthy penchant for distractions, Uldoa.
As I said earlier, this is part of a ceremony. And allow me to share with you the nature of ceremony. The act itself is more important than what it yields.
Now then, Lady Ketone, if you would. Like this? I can barely see a thing. At least design it with practicality.
If we are to abandon our identities, then we will need new ones. I shall incinerate all the wickedness born of human folly that clings to the worlds. And from those ashes shall I resurrect them anew.
Thus, my name shall be the Ashen King.
It has a fine ring to it, your worship. In that case, I shall be the Ashen Strategist. And Lady Ketone, you are the fist that protects him in the night, blessed by his name. And thus we must give you a name worthy of that role. Let us call you Ashen Lunacestus. I suppose you could have suggested worse, although, I mean, Lady Strategist. Very well then. I shall defend both his worship and his name until our deeds are done.
Listen well, you three. Once this begins, there shall be no stopping. Which is why I must say this now. Thank you for being by my side. You are my family, and my greatest treasure. Strategist.
Yes, your worship.
Lunacestus.
Your worship.
And Shimmerlance. Will you accept your name now?
If it is your wish, your worship, I will. Gladly.
Very well. I shall count on your allegiance more than ever in the battles to come. Now, let us make way to that ill-fated continent of Ardra.
So this is his worship's power, when combined with the core crystal.
Lunacestus, I entrust the next battalion I summon to you. Take them west and stop Rundal.
As you command.
Strategist, you will join me as we lay waste to Horn and pinpoint the location of the vein.
Your will is mine. Are you still upset about not receiving a mask?
No, I understand why Lady Strategist did what she did.
Do not wait for your duty to call on you. I must leave his worship's side for a time. I trust you understand what that means. He bestowed you with the name Shimmerlance. It is now your duty to prove that you are worthy of it. That is my final lesson. Now go!
Understood.
Just don't do anything reckless. Okay.
I won't!
Lord Adelard! You're too far out! Come back!
No! This puts me in the enemy's sights, right where I can draw their attention. And while I do, you must evacuate everyone you possibly can, including yourself.
What? You cannot be serious. I won't leave you. Foes such as these are no match for us. I shall stay and fight by your side until the very end.
No, you are going. I want you to take my sister, take Salir back to our hometown. Her wounds are deep, but she may yet make it out of this alive. I ask that you do this for me.
I will make the necessary preparations for evacuation, but that is all. I swear to return. So please, do not die on me.
They defend their home well. I expected no less from Horn's 2nd Division, Nitor.
Adelard, the Vermilion Devil, puts up quite the valiant fight. He has already managed to stave off his worship's forces more than once. There is little wonder as to why those unfortunate enough to cross him refer to him as a devil. The question is, what shall we do about him?
Please, allow me to send that devil back to hell. And while I do, your worship and Lady Strategist can focus on finding the vein as soon as possible. Take too long and we risk giving Solidus an opening.
Shimmerlance, what say you, your worship? If you would entrust the fight to me, I could settle the matter before the sun sets, but...
Very well. I leave it to you, Shimmerlance. Let the people of Horn know that the crimson of your spear burns brighter than that of the Vermilion Devil's blade.
It shall be done. You're commander of Nitor, aren't you? Adelard the Vermilion Devil?
Are you human? Finally, a foe who is not a vision. A foe that can bleed. What is your name?
You can call me Shimmerlance. For one who is about to die, that's all you need to know.
We shall see about that. Lady Marjorie has entrusted me with Nitor. And you shall not defeat me so easily!
Oh, I will. If I can't, there's no hope for my future.
Your future?
I don't have time for this. From now on, my spear will do the talking!
This can't be.
It looks like I won after all.
I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Half of Nitor should have escaped by now. They will find Lady Marjorie and stage a counterattack. Of that, I am sure. No matter who you and your brethren may be, your victory shall be short-lived. The rest is in your hands, Regis.
You were a tough one, I'll give you that. There are still more of them inside. Even without their commander, it seems they won't surrender. What should I do? I imagine Lady Strategist would tell me to leave them be, but... Did you find something? Hey, wait!
Everything's all right. Please remain calm. Head in this direction and you should be safe. Lord Adelard will hold the enemy back.
Wait. What do you think you're doing? Leaving me out of this? And acting like you're in charge all of a sudden?
You're still here? You won't be much help with your wounds. Now get going.
I'm not going anywhere. I need help. Brother!
I will defend Lord Adelard for the both of us, which is why you must survive. Or do you intend to ignore your brother's wishes?
No. I hate having to admit that I am in your debt.
A debt I expect you to repay threefold. I leave the people in your care.
Threefold? Is that all? I'll pay you back 10. No, 100 times over. So you'd better make it back to claim it.
You're from Nitor as well, are you?
Who are you?
Your enemy. And if you're out here looking for your commander, I just struck him down.
I'm sorry. You defeated Lord Adelard? You can't be serious.
But I am.
Silence! A whelp like you could never defeat Lord Adelard!
Wait. The ones who left just now. They're civilians, aren't they?
And what if they are? Do you intend to lay your hands even on innocents who have lost their homes? I won't let that happen. Not on my life!
I shall incinerate all the wickedness born of human folly that clings to the worlds. And from those ashes shall I resurrect them anew.
Even if I let them go, it won't change the fate that awaits them. Which means it would be mercy if I were to just... If I were to...
Lady Regis!
You fools! Why have you returned? Get out of here quickly!
No matter where we go, we won't escape. So please, let us help you take at least one of those abominable dastards with us!
Yes, we're proud citizens of Horn after all. We can't just stand by and let them have their way.
No, no! Absolutely not! Please don't say that! Let me keep my final promise to Lord Adelard. I'm begging you! I loved him, no! I still do! And I always will! And if I cannot keep my word, then I won't know what to do with myself! I would never be able to face the Lear! Now go! And leave this pain to me, so that I may gut him!
Very well, Lady Regis. We know you can do it!
Please, be safe.
I won't lay a hand on the people.
Excuse me?
Their fate won't change. But that doesn't mean they should lose their lives here and now.
You...
And neither should you. So leave! Quickly now, before I change my mind!
I believe you won't harm them. So allow me to thank you for that. But that doesn't change how I feel. I cannot allow you to leave this place alive.
What?
My name is Rachis. I am a warrior of Nitor, Lord Adelard's greatest follower! And the woman who was meant to be his wife. You do well to remember my face.
His... wife?
I cannot forgive you for slaying my future husband. So prepare yourself! Lord Adelard, soon we will be reunited. You won't be alone. I swear it.
In the end, no matter what I did, I was a fool of a fledgling. Even I know that. Since then, I played the hypocrite too many times in order to escape my guilt. Unable to see and accept everything like Uldoa, or harden my heart and kill my feelings like Kit, I deceived myself and my family. But still, I